It's like, hey, you're pretty cute, you know, kind of childhood sweethearts. Woo, we kissed, whatever. Good morning. Anyway, so this video today, I'm going to share my story. So me and my husband, we grew up together. Actually, my mom and his aunt were best friends since they were 11. We had seen each other on and off since we were little, and like it was always like a family like get together or like birthday or whatever, you know the case. And so when I was about 12 years old and he was about 14, we were like, you know, hormones are starting to go, and that was our first kiss. After that, it really didn't move anything. Like we didn't like end up being boyfriend and girlfriend or anything. Like we kind of went our separate ways. I moved away, and then when I was about 14, we saw each other again for a short moment, and like again, like whoo, we kissed, whatever, you know, like brought back memories and whatnot. But it was like, get together or like end up in a relationship or like that, anything like that. When I was about 16, almost 17, we reunited again, and he started coming around more often, and him and my cousin also were best friends. So spend the night and stuff. Like my cousin was living with us at the time, and so my husband would spend the night. And so after that, like we started getting to know each other more again and like just reconnecting. At that time I did have a boyfriend, anything serious, and then like after a while we were like, we really like each other. Like I'm like, all right, you know, it's like, hey, you're pretty cute, you know, kind of thing. And from there we started dating, and then like we did an on-off kind of thing, and finally one day we were just like, you know what, we're committed to each other and this is it. Ever since we've been together. And that was probably in 2006. So we are in 2025 now. So it's been about 21 years. We've been married for 18 years. No, I'm sorry. We've been married for 17 years, and we've been together about 21 years, something like that. It has been a crazy journey, and I love him more than the day that we first decided we were going to be together. So you can say we were childhood sweethearts. We had our first baby when I was 18, and we had taken care of my nephew when he was a baby. Earlier in that, my sister was a young mother, and she had her son before me, and so we had sort of taken on the role of mom and dad for him. And we continued that even through my pregnancy and me going to college. And shortly after me starting college, I had to quit because I was so sick with my pregnancy. And so then I just was a stay-at-home mom at that point. I had like odd end jobs here and there, like working reception at the nursing home that I had worked at when I was like 17, because I used to be a certified nursing assistant. And then after that, my husband went, well, let's recheck. I started nursing school again for my licensed vocational nurse in California, and my husband went off to the Marine Corps, and I was a solo parent at the time. We were staying with my mom and dad, and it was just me and the two kids, and my husband was at boot camp, and that was a really rough time because like I didn't have anybody to fall back on. But then he got out of boot camp, and obviously like we started doing better and stuff. We ended up getting our own apartment, and we've just created this life that we now have, and we just continue to keep moving forward. When my oldest, my 17-year-old, was about 6 years old, well, I'll say 5, because I think we had my second kid when he was 6. But when he was about 5, I was like, okay, like, are we gonna have any more kids now or never? Like, I don't think that I want them to be like really far apart in age. Like I think 5 years, 6 years is a big gap as it was. And I understand, like, I was a teenage mom, and so like having another kid right after him would have been hard. I'm not saying that it would have been easy at all, but so we ended up having our second, and then right before my second child's first birthday, we found out that we were pregnant with our third, and I had had a lot of complications through my pregnancies, and I had to have 2 C-sections. And so with my second C-section, they had told us not to have any more kids. Like, it was too dangerous. Like, I could have a uterine rupture, and my babies were just too big, and there was a possibility of me not making it through. So it was like highly advised not to have any more kids after my second one. But God may it be, we ended up surprised with our third, which was a very nice surprise, because then we had our little girl, and our doctor was like, look, girl, you have a lot of scar tissue. It's gonna be rough to have any more children. I don't advise it. You were already advised that this is not a good idea. And so we decided to have a tube ligation while they did the C-section for my third child, just out of safety for myself and our future. So that's what we did. Did I want more children? I don't know. I was never given the choice whether I could have more children or not. So I had to be okay with what decisions we had made, right? And then in 2019, we moved to Colorado because my parents had moved out here, and we figured it would be a nice change. The place that we were living in, although we had a really nice home, and I wish I could have like taken that house and just like picked it up and dropped it wherever we were gonna live. Like, I loved our house in Cali, but we ended up moving because the area that we were in just was not a good area. Like, there was a lot of gang activity, and the gang activity was like moving into the neighborhoods, and my son was having a lot of issues at school, and it just was not good long term for us. Like, that's where me and my husband had grown up, but it was not a good area anymore. So we decided to pack up and move to Colorado, and that is where we're at now. And last year, was it last year or the year before, I decided to bring my 2 younger kids home. There's a lot of things in the school system that I was not okay with. I did not like. We could back up to like a year ago, right? Like, I tell this story, I think I tell this story a lot, and that's why I just like skipped over it, I think. But a year ago, I quit my nursing job. I was a corrections nurse. I've been a nurse for over 13 years. I've worked every kind of specialty. I worked for Kaiser for many years, and I worked corrections for many years. Corrections is like my place. If I want to work nursing, I love corrections. And obviously that's not where I met my husband. It just so happens that he went into law enforcement. And so anyways, where was I? Back up a year, right? Last year, we were contacted by a mother who was in need, and she asked us to adopt her unborn child, and we agreed, and we went through all of the steps. Like, we FaceTimed during all of the visits and everything, and then when it came down to the day of, like, we were literally packed up on our way to the birth of the baby. We were 40 minutes into our drive. We had stopped, thankfully, to grab something to eat, which probably like gained us like another 30 minutes for her to make the decision that she was not ready to give up her baby, and she kept him. And as hard as it was, I think I found myself a little bit in that. Like, I realized that I was burnt out from nursing, and I really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, all of these years I had worked. Some years I had worked full-time, years I worked part-time, nights, days, like you name it, whatever. But I really feel like I never truly was true to myself or to my I don't know necessarily that at that time that I would have wanted to homeschool my children. I do have a lot of regrets about not homeschooling my oldest from the beginning, but we live, we learn, you know, and life teaches us lessons and we grow from that. And that's what I've found, is that I've been like growing from all the lessons that I've learned with my oldest one. And does it suck that he had to grow with me because I was such a young mom? Yes, but it has made me a better mom, and it has made me realize things and like my parenting style and stuff, and it's switched up, right? So anyways, then fast forward to June of this year, BioMom contacted us again, and she was really struggling and having a hard time with some things in her life and needed somebody to take her 4 kids. So baby that we were going to adopt, plus her 3 other children for the moment, until she could get better. And that's her story for her to tell. That is not for me to discuss. It's just she was not well, and so we helped out, and the littles are back with her now. They are doing great, so I'm excited for them and their new journey. And this is my time to move on and do something more, and that is the reason why I started this channel. And I started this channel a year ago wanting to help like other moms and just like be a friend, be here, be able to chat and talk to people and have a community of like-minded moms or whatnot. I just wanted to be here, and I know that there's seasons of life that I've gone through that some other parents might have gone through or need to hear about. So I just wanted to start this channel for that reason. And I'm here to do that. That is the end of that rant today. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my camera. Well,